Hello? What's up?
Hey, Carl, what's up?
Okay, welcome to Group Chat, presented by Run Through Wall Smelling Salts and, of course, Pub Beer. Now, this episode of Group Chat is the 32 BONECRUSHER edition. We're going to be talking about their latest project, BONECRUSHER, many other snowboard topics. Vizz just turned pro. We got a call with Scotty Stevens later, maybe a call with JP. I don't know if we'll have enough time. But yeah, let's just get right into it. In studio today, to my right, we got Austin Vizz, new pro. What's happening, Vizz?
Yo, stoked to be here. Hands are sweating.
Mom's spaghetti, palms are sweaty. We got Phil Hansen next to him. What's happening, Phil?
Dude, life's good. Got the keys to the limo. Life's good.
Nice. How's driving the limo? How's the turning radius?
Dude, it was good. It was a struggle to park it, but we were listening to Gangster's Paradise on the way over here. Life's good.
Yeah, that works.
Life is good.
And then to my left, we got Pat Fava. What's happening, Pat?
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
I don't know what that means. Is that Italian for hello?
I believe so, yeah.
It is. Okay. Tony, how we doing?
Doing good. First time in Salt Lake. Hearing that intro made me, I don't know, feel fucking good.
Homie's bricked up over here.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got Silk running production back there. The man, the myth, the legend, Silk. How we doing?
Doing good. What's happening, fam?
Yo, fam.
All right, for this one, I think we hit the ground running with a question early here. And this comes from W.S. Lockness. Who smells the worst in the team van? Who we got?
Should we maybe count down?
1, 2, 3.
Phil Hansen.
Phil.
Phil Butt.
I make no comment to rebuttal that, that's for sure. I don't really stink. I just have bad farts. That's kind of all. And I'm farting a lot.
Homie needs
Should we pull up the clip of the Gold Bond spray?
Cue the Gold Bond. All right, well, let's talk about BONECRUSHER. Phil, your first clip in your part, you board slide, a double slide, I don't know, irrigation pipe or something. I don't know what the hell that thing is. And you go into a giant river. Can you tell us the story behind that?
Yeah, it's a boat launch. It's in Spokane, so it's like for people that bring like kayaks or canoes or boats. They bring it down and they dump them in the river there, and then they set sail off downstream. And I mean, we were just kind of like messing around early one morning. We were leaving later that day, and I had this like little zone that I wanted to scope Google Maps, and like Vizz was kind of like out of spots to go to. So we were just like not really expecting to do anything. I think I rolled up there in the slippers and found it, and I was just like, oh my God, it's going down. Like this is all I've ever wanted to do my whole life is hit a slide into some water. And yeah, we built it and then hit it once, and it's like kind of gnarly because there's rocks on either side. So like if you don't make it down the thing, you're probably hitting a bunch of rocks and you're still gonna go in the water and you're gonna be bummed. But yeah, I did it once, didn't make it all the way down, went into the water, spent probably like, I will get out and I'm like 300 pounds with all the water soaked in the gear and in my boots, like stomping through puddles and everything. I'm like, I gotta get all this out. So I'm up there wringing out my clothes and like dumping the boots out for probably like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. And then finally get to try it again. And then I did it. I went to fakie. I didn't want to go to fakie. I just wanted to go to regular. But I was like, I'm not fucking doing it again. Like, no way.
Word on the streets, that was your only shower of the trip?
It actually was because the trip was 2 days long and I shower about every 4 days.
Was it a bit of a cold plunge type of situation, or?
No, it's pretty warm. I think the water's like 40 some degrees. Like it wasn't that bad.
Dude, I just thought, I'm like, this guy's a maniac. Like the fact that you had to go up and do it again is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. Like cold water's good. I like cold water.
Phil's kind of the king of cold water plunges.
Yeah. I mean, dude, a couple days before that, we were up in Baldface, Nelson, up there in Canada, doing an avalanche course.
A little bit of a name drop, but yeah.
But yeah, we were up there with, I'll name drop again, one, maybe you've heard of him, Torstein Horgmo.
Oh,
He convinced everyone in our group to go jump in the lake in Nelson, so late one night, like everyone's running out of the hot tub and down, and like I think there was a couple people that spent like 4 or 5 minutes in that water. Most people just went in and like jumped right back out, and like it was nice doing that with him. was a
Nice.
awesome time.
Amazing. Well, should we all hit a smelling salt to get things going?
Yeah, I think that's
Let's hit
a
it.
genius idea.
Yeah. Who wants to start? Pat, start us off here.
Oh shit.
Oh, right into the mic.
Oh baby. Ooh. Oh yeah.
That's a good batch.
Oh baby.
Oh. Ow. That's a good batch.
Oh my god.
Still going.
was worse than the one we did earlier.
Crying over here.
Still going if you want. DK.
Oh, that's a nice batch right there.
Those came from the brick, huh?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, that came from the brick. Available at
my
bombhole.com.
nose runny.
All right.
That'll wake you up.
All right, let's talk Bone Crusher here. This is actually another subject. Throw someone in the hot seat for doing the least amount of shoveling. LMAO from Tom Langland. Let's get some beef going. Who's shoveled the least on the crew?
Fuck.
I mean, we were only on one trip with Tony,
Yeah.
but I know he's
So I
a
think
beast.
shovel
So
a
I mean, per hour, I don't know.
I think everyone put in.
Yeah,
And we would also, we built, we didn't use any speed machines, but we didn't have a dropping ramp, but that also meant that we just built 7 foot tall mounds.
So kind of everybody on
kinda
the
put
crew
in.
is a unit.
One of my favorite was the middle of a cul-de-sac. Actually, the drop-in ramp that we built out of snow is like fucking 7 feet high. It's like so skinny on the top, and cars are driving around
It's just a
us. in the
castle they were
cul-de-sac.
looping
That was
around
so
it.
sick.
Yeah, that was so sick.
Where was this at?
That was Minnesota, Blue King.
Blue King.
Yeah.
How many trips did you guys go on for Bone Crusher?
3.
3.
trips.
Spokane,
Minnesota,
Finland.
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 We were
Amazing.
moving some snow in Finland, like at the office.
Yeah.
Like everyone needed to move some snow.
It was like one spot a day with how little snow was there.
And we moved that one piece of snow everywhere to make the spots happen. So,
One drop-in ramp for
yeah, just
everything.
moving that around.
That's so good. I think this is another good question. This is from Cece Nelson. Coming off the summer into a new season, how much does skateboarding influence your riding? Now, just for reference, Phil, Vizz, and Pat are absolute animals on the skateboard. I'd love to hear you guys elaborate. Tony, maybe you could take this one, actually.
Yeah, I don't skate that much. I can do some slappies and that kind of stuff, but my main exercise is golfing. And some days I might put some extra weight in my golf bag, and I don't tell, and not like now people know. So that's been my go-to exercise.
If you guys like,
Couple extra kilos.
Tony was telling me that he pushes a cart when he goes golfing, and for an extra workout, he takes dumbbells
20 kilos.
and puts them in his golf bag for extra weight.
And then a friend of mine, like I never told this story to anyone before you. And then one day we were like going back to our cars. Then I've been always carrying my bag and throwing that into my car. Then my homie is like, hey, let me take your bag. He's like, what the fuck? How many balls you have in this? And I was like, no, it's just fucking those plates. Like 10 kilo plates.
That's one way to
my
do it. So you
God.
can push the golf bag with weights. What about you guys?
Push yourself.
This golf's his dad. Isn't your dad the club pro in
Yeah.
Spokane or something?
My dad was a club pro when I was growing up at golf, so
Does that help your snowboarding?
I'd like to say golf helps the mental aspect of snowboarding. I like to cruise around and walk the course, Golf teaches you patience.
I really think, because in golfing, like whenever you like swing the club, and hit the ball, that could be the best shot of the day. And it's the same thing when you're hitting a rail, If I don't know how many what's your score, but let's say like you do 55. Or fuck, I don't know what I was saying. But anyways,
Break it, huh?
like if you do 50 tries at the spot, even the first one can be the best one, And in golfing, it's the same, that every shot counts.
Yeah.
It's all technique, like the golf swing is like if you do the technique right and but you don't put the force behind it, it's probably going to go hard. And that's my problem because I'm all like brute force. I'm always trying to smack it. It goes veer right. I'm just like brute force. But then it just, it always like the technique. And it's same with like a clip or snowboarding or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like if you come in, you're cruising in and like hit natty speed line, whatever. Like,
Get the feeling.
yeah, you get the feeling of
So you-
it and flowing and everything. You're not just
You could skating does not influence our snowboarding. It's
No,
just
it's all
golf.
about the golf.
We're
skating
actually
kind of just honestly really hurts.
We're just a bunch of washed up skateboarders at this point.
Well, the thing I think's cool too is it's the same mentality. When you're filming a trick, if you're trying to ledge trick, it's the same as going to a down rail and trying to cab 2.
Yeah.
You're kind of in that same mindset. Muscles are different, but it's got to be good for something.
And then I think it's also funny when you're golfing, you are scared of hitting the ball into the lake. But at the same time, you might be like during the winter be scared to drop like 3 floors down. Then you're like, I'm more scared when I'm hitting that €1 Pro V1 whatever over the lake than dropping down from the road.
Physical repercussions aren't as heavy though. That's the crazy part.
Or you're Phil and your goal is to end up in the lake. You know what I mean?
You gotta shower somehow. Am I right?
You do the same at the golf course?
I mean, there's a quote from Caddyshack. I think Bill Murray says, and he's like, I got a pool and a pond. Pond would be better for you.
All right, I have a question. I think this leads into a really good story from
So we
you.
didn't answer the skateboard question at all.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
It just hurts, you know. Every winter I hurt from skating. We'll leave it
Have you guys
there.
ever seen Phil walk?
Yes.
Can somebody describe how Phil walks?
I can
Waddle.
Yeah.
I can show it.
Well, you might be able to see it with the fisheye. Yeah, don't do it in front of the fisheye.
Yeah, we'll see
I'll narrate while you actually do it. So
Should we do it?
I hope Pete Sorry listens to this one because he's gonna love this.
3, 2, 1, walk like Phil. So he's hunched over. He's got a bit of a waddle going. He's scratching his head. He looks like he's actually just in pain. That is exactly how Phil walks. It's unbelievable.
He forgot to scratch the belly, you know.
Sorry.
Little belly.
What do you think the reason is why you walk like that, Phil?
Dude, it's fucking skateboarding. Seriously, like that's what I'm saying. Every winter I go into the winter and I'm hurt from skate. Like even like 3 weeks ago, I hurt my knee, and last winter was the first winter I went into where I wasn't hurt from skating. And this winter I'm in pain already. I'm like,
Dude, I've never seen you fall on your skateboard though. I don't get it.
I always
he dies
dude.
when he
I
goes down.
die every day.
Yeah. Okay, I got a good question here from Tanagram on Instagram. They asked, what was the sketchiest situation you're in on the road last season? Phil, I'm going to let you take this one.
And shout out Tanner. He's the homie up in Vancouver, I believe. I'm hoping I'm thinking of the right homie. But yeah. You're referencing the homeless, the tweaker guy, right?
The second to last clip, the 50 front 3, we can loop that on the screen, Silk.
Yeah, that was an interesting one because this was in Minnesota before all these guys showed up, and I was filming for the LibTech off-ramp video, and there's this bridge that goes out of St. Paul over the river there, and the river there is huge, but was basically like went there one night to set it up just solo because there's like a bunch of branches at the bottom you had to cut and all this stuff, and like I was shoveling snow from the bridge up down below because there was no snow down below.
And you were solo.
And solo night mission at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night or something. And I'm like, spend 2 hours shoveling snow off this bridge. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go like smooth it out down below so it freezes up and the landing's good. Because there's a pond in the landing too, which I don't know, maybe should have taken a bath in that. But
You love water.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the pond, I had to toss snow over the pond to get that to freeze, and like over these like bushes in the landing to get those to freeze too. And I go around and like it's a whole block around this building to go down off the bridge, and I get down to the bottom, and there's this kind of like sketchy looking tweaker dude coming out from under the bridge, and I'm like going down to shovel back in this like dead end corridor. And he just like, I hear him stop walking, and then he turns around, he starts following me. I'm like, oh fuck, this isn't good. Like, so I just bypass the spot, go under the bridge, and he keeps following me. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep walking, go back to the car, whatever, like just call it good for the night. And so I like loop around the whole other side of the block on the other side of the street and come back around to the other side of the building. And I turn the corner, and there's this like 6'5" like ogre looking tweaker dude just waiting for me, missing teeth, like hobbling all crazy. And he's like, oh, what are you doing back there? And I'm like, I'm shoveling snow. I have a shovel. Like, I'm shoveling snow. He's like, no, you're not. You're going to steal my shit. And I'm like, no, I'm literally shoveling snow. Like, I'm a snowboarder. I'm going to hit this thing. I'm shoveling snow. And he just like flips the switch, loses his limp and everything, and chases me into this corner.
Mind you, Phil's limping as well.
I'm also limping. So this guy we went from oppo. I went from not limping to limping, and he went from limping to not limping. And he's chasing me into this corner where there's like fences and a dead end street and everything. And he like kind of get it. Like we're in this zone, and this is like going on for like 1 or 2 minutes where we're like juking each other back and forth and whatever. And I just got a shovel, and he's like meth eyes, whatever, like chasing after me, like, and gets me in this corner, and I'm like, I'm gonna get stabbed or beat to shit or something. Like I don't know what's going on right now. And eventually, like, kind of did this little move and like, kind of like juked him with the shovel, and then like went around him, and he like almost got the shovel and grabbed it and whatever. And I just took off running down the street. It's like icy on the street. I'm slipping and everything. He's slipping, and get back to the car, which is like just past where we were, like where he had cornered me. I was like, literally could see the car, and get in the car, throw the shovel like in my lap, start it. Don't even do, and just like drive off, and he like jumps on the car and starts like pounding on it and whatever, like practically just like run him over. I'm like I've never felt like I was gonna die before, but that was the only time I've felt like I've been like out of control of what was gonna happen to me.
Selfishly wish I could have been a fly on the wall in the corner for the battle.
Not helping.
Actually,
It's
just
like-
filming on our phone.
No, it was fucking scary though, because I'm like shaking even thinking about it. And like I have this dude's face and his eyes and everything like in the back of my mind whenever I think about it. It was like super traumatizing. I get back to the Airbnb, and it's like me, Katie Kennedy, my buddy Mateo, and Kevin Nolan. Shout out all of them, legends. But they're just like, hey, how's it going? They're all like giggly, whatever. I'm like shaking. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna believe what just happened. Like telling the whole story, and they're like, holy fuck. Like, and we went there and filmed it the next day, and it was like 3 tries done, just like 50.
Were you shook, like being in that environment when you went back?
Yeah, because we went back too, and we seen him the next morning. He was walking across the bridge when we were going to the spot, and he was limping, hobbling across the bridge the other way, going into the city, like away from the spot, and saw him. And I was just like, that's the guy. Like, and they were like, oh my God, he's massive. And like, went and hit the spot, and it was like, 3 tries and done. It was like
Heavy clip. That's very heavy.
Dude, it was
clip.
like the craziest feeling I've had in my whole life. Like dealing with that guy and then going back, I was like, I don't know. It's like a thing you can't really explain. How
I wish we had a close angle of that fucking knob at the end there.
Yeah,
Or
did you have to jam the end? Do you have to lift up your nose to jam the?
Yeah, it had knobs on the end of the rail. Like it was basically just like a fence, like a normal fence that has like the little like triangle things on it. But that's why it worked so good. Is just like you jammed off of it and got the little extra oomph, and it was just like it worked out so good.
All I could think about just clipping nose up there, straight to the
flipping
fucking
into
concrete bank. Yeah, dude, respect.
You
on
gotta,
that.
you just gotta be aware of the nose and tail of your board. You know, it's same with going ping city on the down bar.
Yeah,
You gotta be aware where those things are going.
one of my favorite clips. But,
I think that could have been your ender. Shout out to High Def Jeff, killed it. I think that could have been your ender personally. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember getting that clip, and I texted at our group chat. I was like, dude, it's just got like my ender for sure.
How many
Yeah.
days were you in that house in Minnesota? That
It was 32 days straight filming.
What?
Literally
32?
32.
You went to that same
Not even
house
joking.
after?
Yeah, we rented it for the rest of the time we
Damn.
were there.
Because we did the first trip, which was like 20 days, and then ours had a day in between, and then we did like 11 days out there or something.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting question from Brandon Lepatsy. I'd like to hear each of you guys name your favorite clip for each rider in BONECRUSHER. I think it'd be fun to go around the horn. Maybe we start with let's start with the TK1 clip because he's got to catch a flight, so we got to get some TK1 audio time in. Yeah, you guys got a favorite clip of Toni? Or Toni, do you have a favorite clip for your part?
Of my own?
Or do you want to name somebody else's clip?
Maybe I name Phil's first.
Yeah, what's your favorite clip?
I really like the door slam to 50-50. I think it was just funny, you know. And then that little Scotty Stevens "Wada!" after that makes it so good. But that whole zone was really sick. I think we spent too many days there, but it's still, I think it worked out super nice thinking about the movie.
We spent like 6 days there
Out
on a
of
9-day
7.
trip. Yeah.
6 out of 7.
I mean, lost the mind by the end of there. And, you know, there's the clip in the credits of me screeching like a pterodactyl, and I'm just like, that was our last day.
Yeah,
I was so
I walked
over
in.
it.
Yeah, I walked into that one house, and he was crying there. And went to tell Pat about it, and then we went to pick him up and left the fucking office.
That's what it's called, The Office?
Yeah,
That's
the
that's what
office.
we
I
call
think
it, yeah.
those guys named that.
Is that a Dr. Ludi?
No, he never went there.
Oh, it isn't?
No,
Okay.
I think some skiers been there, some snowboarders, like locals, but I think Luti never went there. He got his own shit, you know?
We should talk about your ender.
Yeah, that's from that same place.
Same spot, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
could have got fucked up on that.
I know. Like, we were trying to think, like, what can go wrong. Because normally, like, what can go wrong. You know, like, you're doing a roof drop or, like, roof rail, whatever. You just pile snow everywhere. But on that thing, like, I think we never really figured, like, what happens if you don't clear the rail, you know? But, yeah. Or maybe I did one try that I jumped off on the side,
You did.
but it felt so scary.
Sure.
Yeah, you did the first 2 tries. You landed at both the first 2 tries, and then I think Jeff wanted to get a photo, and you tried it twice again, and both times, like, you jumped off to the right.
And that felt the most sketchiest
Yeah, and
because
then
then you can get stuck while you're jumping off,
Yep.
you know, with all those frames.
And mind you, it is wood with glass on top and metal.
Couple
And nails.
screws, whatever.
So like your body could have easily went through the thing and you're hanging upside down.
Oh, and underneath all the snow in the bottom was all the glass just under that. So it's like
And
It's
yeah,
like ice.
you
snow.
never know. Yeah, you never know if you like fall on that. It's just
rusty
like,
metal.
It was all iced over under there, and you don't know if we couldn't chip the glass out or do nothing about it.
And I think the fisheye from under, like when I'm doing the 50, makes this shot really cool because you can see the base of the board. And okay, it's an other 50-50. I hate to get 50-50 enders, but yeah, it is what it is. And I think it's really, really
So
cool.
sick.
And the photo turned out really cool. So
Sick. You know, I got a clip in your part that I love. It's the nose slide pretzel, and you catch the ledge at the end on that campground.
yeah.
Was that the first clip you
That was
got?
first clip, and it was maybe like exactly a year ago. That was my very first trick, which I filmed. Yeah, I went there with Jamie, and there was only like 3 hours of daylight, so kind of needed to go early and
You
get
got
that
him a
clip.
Mars bar?
Yeah, how did you know that?
You told us about
Oh
it.
shit! Yeah, that was the way to get him there. You know, get the Mars bar.
So I got a sauna at my house here. Big fan of sauna, but
Same.
the OG sauna gods are Scandinavians.
Yeah, that's a Finnish sauna which you have there. So
So we got we got a little bit of a tutorial from Toni in the sauna last night. He had all kinds of things
Yeah.
he was unloading on us. Not a fan. I have this. It's like a sand timer, like an hourglass thing that tells you 20 minutes is up. Tony's not a fan of that. He was appalled by it actually.
Yep. You know, Chris thinks sauna is a contest, you know. For me, it's like a way to relax.
America.
I know, but still, I think sauna is a place where you can relax, not just staring at the timer like, oh, 1 more minute. I can make it.
It's hard to
At the
relax.
same time, he's thinking all those emails.
I'd like to point out that you were the first person out of the sauna last night, actually.
But
It's not.
so again, like fuck you, like, all of you guys.
No, not having a timer is great. You could wake up like at 9 a.m. in the morning. You don't know how long you've been in there. You could be in there for 7 hours, but you don't know. You have no gauge. You know?
Shriveled up.
Yeah, it might be a shriveled up raisin in the morning.
And then all that eucalyptus, whatever you put in there. Come on.
Eucalyptus?
Yeah, no one. Come on, guys.
We had
Use the butter.
we had the sauna in our Airbnb in Finland too, indoor sauna in the bathroom, so you could walk out of that and take the shower right there that was ice cold, and then go back into that, and it's like the whole time you're doing that, you're just naked because you're in Finland.
Well, let's also
So
talk
sick.
about how I don't know why in America it's weird to be naked, but yeah, in Europe, Scandinavia, it's like actually frowned upon to bring your bathing suit into the sauna. So my favorite
That's
night
only
was,
that's only in Central Europe.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Scandos, you guys go bathing suit?
no.
No, if it's like
Public
female,
sauna?
yeah, public sauna.
Or male and female?
Yeah,
There was
okay.
no bathing
Like
suit
example,
in ours.
but the public where we went a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
like the smoke sauna place.
My favorite though was like whole time using bathing suit, and then we walk in with KK, shout out photographer,
Big shout out.
and him and Tony just fucking pants down. I was like, okay, that's how we're doing it, you know. So I roll in, and then you know, chilling, fucking legs spread, dong out. Phil walks in.
Yeah, I walk in like
Phil
5
walks
minutes
in, he
later.
goes,
And
oh, that's how we're rolling. Okay.
I've seen Pat naked enough times, and I just see him just sprawled out right in the middle, just like
Don't know.
Harry right in the face. I'm like,
Just-
I've seen that thing too many times.
Sack hanging like a bag of Earl Grey tea just on the
breakfast.
floor. Yeah. Things just droop
Yeah.
city.
So let's normalize being naked in the song.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Without the timer.
What else? You know what'd be cool to talk about? We all just did Mammoth Trip 32. We talked about all the product, kind of like a team building product, week-long film for an edit kind of thing. I don't know what you'd call it. It was friggin' awesome.
Throw this on the table.
Oh yeah, you're gonna put the Mammoth
Little
King Grill?
product placement.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to the Mammoth crew. Those guys are awesome. They built a great
Oh,
park.
shit.
That's an NBD. That's an NBD. Pop the salt with the rail.
Salt smasher.
For the listeners, Pat just picked up the rail like a rubber mallet and dropped it on the smelling salt. Right in
Donut hole.
So again, for the listeners, Phil just threw a smelling salt into Pat's mug, and it landed in his coffee. So you're not going to want to drink that.
You're gonna drink that, aren't you?
No, don't drink that. And our listeners, don't drink coffee with smelling salts in it. I'm just going to advise that.
Tastes like snooze.
But yeah, the crew was ripping. Like, how was your guys' Mammoth experience this week?
Well, I showed up a little late.
Stuck in Europe.
I was stuck in the Munich airport after.
How many days?
I think it was 3 days total at the Munich airport. But sickest vibes Mammoth puts on for the team, and
Let's run
Okay.
through the crew. Who do we have there? Stevens,
Joey Fava.
J Fav. Woo!
Crab Walk King.
Crab walk kid.
We had Zebulon, Planet Zebulon,
DJ Zebulon.
Yeah.
and then us four, and then all the other people that work over at Mammoth or work over at 32 rather. So we had a sick crew.
We had Dez and Ted there too.
Dez and
that
Ted.
was awesome.
Stan was in the mix. Blum, Steffi,
Yeah.
Bridges showed up for a day.
Yep.
Blessed
Jeff
us with
filming.
a plan or two.
Bachman
High
blessed
def.
us with the front lip.
That was epic.
High def Jeff on the glass. Yeah, we had a good week, and then we filmed the spot check edit. It was good times.
So good.
Sickest times.
And how did your board bag show up, Tony?
Nope. I think it's Finland now, hopefully. So, yeah, no board back. I was still boarding, so that was all good.
I checked the tracking. It's actually still in San Diego,
Could be. Or in Aspen.
Paris.
It's in Antarctica.
Man, one person went viral while we were there.
Who was him?
Joey, Pat, your brother.
Yeah, Joey Fava.
3 milli.
Fucking crab walking, having a good time, doing his thing. He didn't even know that he's about to break the internet, you know? 3 milli views he's at, personal.
If you watch that clip, like, I'm not sure if he's gonna. Like, you have to be confrontational to do it right. Like, if he stares back uphill like he's gonna stab somebody in the fucking throat. That clip, he's just. If somebody was standing in the wrong place, they might got the shit kicked out of him just because that's his energy when he does that trick.
He's got the same facial expression as like Gunnar when he does like the lean back on the elbow and looks back uphill, and he's just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch something, even though it's like most non-confrontational homies, but they're just like,
Yeah, if you're gonna hit a crab walk, you better be feeling confrontational, or it won't have the right energy.
Yeah, he does the same too, and he like stomps a fucking hammer on a rail, you know, just staring back uphill.
So
Fucking
sick.
The
juiced.
look back is the sick.
That's
how,
that's
how
the
many
energy we
clips
need.
he hit on that the chain to down rail, like 15 on it,
Yeah,
every possible trick probably.
he might have got 15 clips on every rail we were filming on.
True.
So, shout out Joey Fava.
And then while we were there, huge news: Vizz turned pro. Vizz, how was it when they brought out the lavender boot? You had no idea, right? You were total surprise.
It's unreal.
Yeah, how was that
Still-
experience?
Still tripping. I mean, to be there with like the family of the 32 crew, and we're just like, oh, we're going to Wave Rave. Like, we had a sick time there last year. And then I think Pat, he like brings up this boot. He's like, what boot is this? And I just look at it and it has my name on it. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, still tripping on it, man. It's like such a dream come true. Feels absolutely unreal.
Cool.
Should we talk about how Phil and I kind of botched the surprise a little bit?
Yeah, talk about it.
Dude, I was waiting you pulled out the phone and you were waiting to film it, and then kind of nothing happened. And then I walked over there and I was trying to like wait for him to kind of like follow and walk, and then he never did. And it's like camera out, and I'm like, what's going, like, I can't just be the only guy that's going to do this. And I'm like over at the boot and waiting for him to walk over, and you're like pointing the camera at him. I'm like, I don't want him to catch wind of it without being surprised or whatever.
True.
So I just like grabbed it and just like survived.
The original idea was Vizz's boots on the wall, and Wave Rave actually put the Vizz last 32.
The price tag.
So I think what the idea is to be like, oh, our boots are on the wall, let's get Vizz to come look at them, and he would see his name there. And I think we just got so fucking excited for our dog, you know? We're just like, we rolled up and we pulled the boot off the wall. We say, what boot is this? I've never seen this boot. And then we just walk it over to him. But hey, everything happens, you know, as it should. Yeah. It worked out.
I was happier for you than I was for my own boot last year. Like, I was crying, and I don't even think I cried for my own. It was just like relief or happiness, or just like stoked, and then like I was crying for you for sure.
Well deserved.
Absolutely. That's how I felt for you guys too. I was like tearing up last year.
Yeah.
And I was just like in disbelief. I'm also just like so baked. I'm just like, I'm cooked.
Homie's cooked.
Yeah, we might have to hit a homie's cooked for that one. 100%. Homie's cooked.
So we'll talk about the color. It's lavender, not purple.
It's not purple, it's lavender.
Not purple.
Yeah.
It's lavender. It also has diamond studs on it.
Yeah, where'd you guys come up with who designed the boot? You guys did?
Phil and I.
Me and Pat were working on it in California with our boot designer, Will Keegan.
Yeah.
Huge shout out. Legend.
Yeah, shout out.
Big
Will.
shout out.
Yeah, we were like trying to figure out some stuff to do there while we were also like working on our next ones. And then there was one point where he walked over, and I remember Will like was like working on it, and he was frantically just like switched the like keys and like got it out of there like barely a second before he came up and looked out of the thing, and he was like looking at it and just started talking about something completely different.
And I'm pretty sure he mentioned that there was still like a window open that said like Vizz boot or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
It's a good thing
you
I'm
didn't see
cooked,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
No idea.
Great fucking looking boot though.
I'll tell you what, this wasn't the original thing we were working on either, so
It's better.
It's better.
It's better.
Much better.
I love it, dude.
Yeah. One thing I got to say too, Vizz, is like every time you snowboard and every time you strap in, you are fucking shredding. You're getting after it, whether you're filming a clip, whether you're at a contest, whether like everywhere you go, you show up, you beat shit down, you got good style, you put in 100%, and it's just so cool to see. Like, I feel like it's so deserved with all the work you've been putting in, and
Thank you,
it's
man.
rad.
Appreciate it. It means so much.
Chief Vizz.
Yep.
Love all you guys.
Love
I mean,
you
that's
too,
how
dog.
I think you should
Love G.
snowboard. Like, if you're trying to like film a video part or a clip, like put 100% into it. Like, that's what we're here to do and inspire more people. Like, you're not going to have the sickest day every day, but you know, maybe try something a little different.
Yeah, there's some Larry Bird quote where he's like, I have a theory that if you put 100% in every time you play basketball, that things will just work out, or something. It's something along those lines, but it's true.
It's always how I've looked at it. It's like, dude, that's just what we're here to do. And we all love snowboarding so much. It's like, put that energy into it.
And it's like you go home
sick.
feeling so much better if you try. If you just fucking.
Even if you get bodied or you don't get the clip, at least you tried.
yeah.
Like, fuck it.
Yeah, while we're talking about the filming and stuff, it'd be cool to dive into your part. I mean, I love the hard way front two melon you did on that gap rail from your part. That was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Kind of a sleeper, like middle of the part fisheye clip, goes by quick.
That's my favorite clip too.
Is it?
I mean, it meant a lot to me. I was like, I've been seeing that spot for, I don't even know, probably 10, 15 years in snowboard videos. And when I learned that trick, I'm like, yo, this is the perfect spot for it. Like, you got the hang time to grab the board. And I was in Finland before these guys showed up doing DIYX. And the snow was melting. It's like there's maybe 3 or 4 inches. And I'm like, yo, the day after DIYX, after the big party, is the only day I'm going to do it. And I'm like, if I go out all night, there's no way I'm about to chuck myself down this huge rail. So I went to bed. I just got all stoned like I normally do, chilling mode, and woke up feeling great. And I was like, yo, today's the day I'm going to do this. And took a while to build the spot because of the lack of snow, but the crew showed up. I was with Benny, T-Arn, KK, and Kevin Nolan. Shout out to all of them. And we all busted ass for a couple hours, and then it's kind of one of those. I did a couple lip slides on it, and I was like so scared, but it's just like, you just gotta do it, man. I didn't want to leave that trip without it, at least trying that.
What's up with the car coming out of the garage?
And that was was it coming on the try you made?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think when I was at the top, I was like, yo, we're about to get the boot. And I did one hardway front too without the grab, but I really wanted to do the melon. That's like what it was for me.
That's the flavor.
Gotta have that extra piece of style. And I think in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, we're about to get kicked out. And they were actually just mad chill pulling out of the parking garage, like no biggie, but they had like sirens and shit on their car. And so it's kind of when that extra motivation hits you, you're like, I gotta land it right here. Yeah. And I've also just been slamming the last 10 tries. So.
I think it's sick because it really shows the height of the spot when there is the car. But you know, when there's just a concrete door or whatever, you can't really tell, like, that's fucking big. And it is big, but still it gives like the real look.
For sure.
You could have stacked 3 cars up there.
Yeah.
Get to the top.
Also, your back two set, like you're so good on those 2 saves. Like the back 2 on that one down, flat down. I really like that shot because of the ride out, how you ride out, you know?
The ollie. That's my favorite part.
You can tell that there's so much speed, and that spot is fucked because the landing is kind of uphill. Yeah. He just does the back 2.7, like 3 meter ollie off.
The rail's also chest high.
Let's also talk about maybe that you didn't make it before and you caught your edge into the hill on your stomach.
I was getting
really
hard. Like one try before or something.
Yeah.
True. And it was raining.
Yeah.
It was raining.
On the same.
We're all sad, man. Hanging out.
But we hit that one gap rail before that. That was a crazy day.
Oh shit!
Think about it. We got like
day?
No, it was like 10 in total.
Dude,
for the whole
we
crew.
put a
like
beat
literally,
down that day.
like for real.
Run us through the clips.
10, 12
And then we went to IKEA between those spots. We've been doing stuff on that day.
You buy some meatballs or some furniture? Meatballs?
Maybe more.
We ate.
I remember getting the dessert midday, being all stoked that we had like 8 clips already before even going to that kink rail. And it was like, it's raining out. We're not going to do anything else or whatever. And I was just like, let's just go to that kink rail.
So should we talk about the spot before?
Yeah, run through all the clips of the day. That'd be cool.
Like the spot where we went before, Aero was on that spot. So that was the gap rail, the white gap rail.
The sickest to board with him.
Aero Ettila.
Yes.
Shout out.
Legend.
Big shout out.
King of Finland.
Fucking legend.
Yep. So he been shooting, like me and him, we were sharing a couple of spots before you guys came. And then he got so into photography, like during the last couple of years. So he told me, like, yeah, like hit me up if you guys going to shoot, and I can come to take some photos. And I was like, yeah, feel free. And then he shows up to that gap rail, but he brought his own board with him as well. Because I told him, like, yeah, it could be sick to get a clip of you. And he was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So I don't know who was riding that spot first, but maybe he was the last guy riding.
Yeah.
Or maybe me or him.
No, he pulled up on it after we were all done hitting it. I think before Pat did the 450.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
That's my favorite clip of your part.
My dog.
Fucking doing himself.
Run through all the tricks on that, because there's a bunch from the movie.
I think we all got a clip.
I did the nollie front board. You did cab 2,
I did
tail grab?
Cab 2, tail grab, and then switchback lip on it. And I was really hyped on the switchback lip because that was the first spot I'd ever done that gap to.
Yep.
But then,
Fucking
I mean,
sick.
before we even started hitting it, we had the crazy lady with the dog. Almost.
And they ran
kick us
over
out.
my backpack.
Yeah, they ran over your backpack.
Yeah.
And then, like,
And they were so mad.
and that's like right when Arrow showed up, too. It was right before that.
And then when Aero showed up, she got super chill because she recognized Aero from TV.
So just so if people don't know this, Aero has his own TV show in Finland, right?
Couple of TV shows.
So he's like a famous person in Finland. He's famous in snowboarding, but also in like pop culture in Finland.
And we're just sitting like they're yelling at each other in Finnish. We don't know what's going on, so we're kind of just like chilling.
This is
on
like
the side.
30 minutes too, them going back and forth, just like. I'm like, that's what Finnish sounds like to people who don't speak it.
But I really think that when they saw Aero there, that changed her mind, you know. That's why we were able to hit it.
Yeah.
Because, and then, whatever. The next day was even better when Aero comes back.
Okay, so again, let's run through every clip that went down on that.
Okay. I did that nollie front board.
Yep.
Style Lord.
What'd you do, Pat?
I did hardway cab 2 to regular, and then front 2 to fakie, which I was hyped on.
And
I had the idea to do a front 450 gap, and it was raining. Everybody's tired. That was people are running over Tony's backpack, and I don't think Vizz and Phil were too hyped to stay at the spot longer. But
Not for the 450.
yeah, but I'm fucking hyped that I stayed and did it. It was fun.
Flip turned out sick.
And then Vizz, what'd you do on it?
I did front 3 a couple days before.
And that's in the intro.
It's in the intro. And then I did switchback 2 to regular, which I was hyped on that. I've never done it on a street spot like that. I was like, it's one of my favorite clips too.
And we didn't mention the fact that you have a cameo of Aero Cap 2 regs
Cap 2.
too as well.
First try. I believe.
Was it
One and
FT?
done.
for sure.
Straight legend. I heard he's sitting on some secret footage.
Yeah, he got some really cool stuff filmed already. Yeah, he got some good stuff filmed already. But I'm not gonna tell anything. I don't know. Can you even know about it?
Okay, so that's still secret.
It's pretty
Aero's footage
secret.
is still secret.
But yeah, I think the next day gets even better because we went back to the office and Aero wanted to come shoot photos. Then he shows up to the office and he tells me this. Yeah, remember yesterday when we got kicked out from that spot? Today, a guy from Finnish Snowboarding Association called me, or Aero said this, and then they were asking like, yeah, this apartment building complex, they called us and they asked like, what's the best way to make stoppers for the rails? So think about it, like the spot which we were hitting, they called it the Finnish Snowboarding Association, and the association guy called Aero, because the lady for sure told them like Aero Ettala was hitting this spot, and then they asked like how they can fucking put the stoppers on this thing.
Snitches.
So
I really want to go back there. Maybe try it with the stoppers on. I don't know, just to see the vibe.
She had a whole plan for it too. I
Yeah,
remember her
she was
talking
telling-
about
true,
it. Like, she had the
true.
whole plan for it.
Like, I don't know.
You guys are just living rent free in this lady's head of she's just stewing about this rail.
I don't know.
R.I.P. to the
so
rail.
funny.
Yeah, that thing was beat down. There ain't much left on that.
I don't know, can that happen anywhere else than in Finland?
So this is a good question. You know, Vizz, earlier you talked about being scared for the hardway front 2, and Quinn Anderson wants to know, how do you get over the fear of going massive? If you guys have any pointers, I think that's a good topic.
I mean, I think you never really get over it. You just build more confidence up. Each season, you're like, oh, I hit a huge spot last year. Like, I know I got it. But at least for me, anything that's big is like, my heart is pumping. And sometimes I think you just got to sack up and be like, fuck it, I'm going to do this.
I think you kind of need that as well. That like, think if you will not feel that you are scared, I will feel weird. Because
Yeah.
I think you kind of get power out of that feeling, and then you know at the same time, like, the feeling when you land that trick is even better. But yeah, for sure you're always scared, but for sure by doing this you get more comfortable and gets easier kind of.
I just pray to God and close my eyes, let Jesus take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel.
There's a good way
live
to
in
put
Utah
like,
or what?
all the buffers too around a spot. Like you can put more snow in the landing for like, okay, like I'm gonna go for this thing first tee, and I'm probably gonna eat shit,
Yep.
and I'm gonna fall face first right there, and like, you know, spend the extra 30 minutes, hour if you're setting up a spot. Like check those buffers, put snow around the pole, like. You know, there's so many different variables for each spot or whatever that you can like work on. Like, you know, rail's got a little like ding on it or whatever, like a little weld point. Like, have a file it down. There's just like so many random things like that. You could just
no matter
spot
what,
the spot.
first try is always there's always
No.
fear.
Scary.
And I think it's always good to put that one extra hour, you know. Like,
Yeah.
don't rush if you don't need to.
Making it safe.
Because
Yeah.
if you build it wrong too, you know, there's like been so many times this last winter where it's like something's built wrong for what you're trying to do, but you're like, why is this not working? Why is this like this? And then you're like, should have spent the extra 30 minutes to think about like how it's going to work for this, where it's going to film from, like what the speed's going to be like, all these little things. Like I think of that one where we were at the last day in Finland that none of us. You got the one like little gap to wall ride clip on it, but like you tried to crippler off of that thing for 3 hours. I tried to do my thing on it, and it just wasn't working. Cool spot, but it just we just did it wrong.
Makes for good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
You know, it's interesting too. Sometimes, in my experience filming, you're really scared at a spot. You end up getting the trick. You get the clip, and then the photographer's like, "Hey, can you do it again?" And you're like, adrenaline's not in your body anymore.
Yep.
And that's oftentimes when I've gotten absolutely annihilated because you kind of
Same.
let your guard down.
that's
Yep,
like
yep.
Tony's last trick, the 50-50. Is like did it, got the clip, and then it's like let's get the photo, and then went to do it again and fell off each side once, and you're just like, nope, done, not it. Like you
Yeah.
can't do it.
Not worth it.
I think it's good to hang up the board when you feel that's.
It's a little bit of a Kenny Rogers, Kenny Loggins, no one to hold him, no one to fold him. I don't know if you've ever heard that song. Great track. Silk, you got any pointers for overcoming fear at a big spot?
Yeah, I have tons of experience hitting massive spots. All my footage is gone though, so I can't put it up. But
Do you have any experience overcoming the fear if you want to get a bowl cut mullet hybrid?
I don't feel any fear about that. I think you should just do it. You just do it, and it's fine. Just cut your hair, whatever you want to do, man.
Thinking about that for years, it looks good.
Yeah, it's worth it. You do it, it grows back. If you hate it, you should buzz it, whatever.
I think
Put it on.
maybe Pat Fava would look really good with that with his mustache.
Should we do a on-set bowl cut?
Let's get the scissors.
It's
out.
pretty easy.
Yeah, we got that. Question from the name is Poonstaffer. Interesting IG handle. Love it.
That's sick.
Who's a better DJ, Project Pat or Zebulon?
I'm gonna give it to Pat. He's been doing it a little longer and kind of a little more down. Zeb's, he'll get there.
They're both nice with it.
I think they both play the hits.
I think we work well as a team.
Yeah.
You know?
You had the hype though. I feel like you're so good at feeding off the hype too, and Zeb's like really chill and quiet, and like he feeds off the hype too. But you like the hype is like when it's there, it's there.
I think we just need some more DJ Favulon sets.
Is that your name?
That's kind of our team name. That's
DJ
kind of what we're
Hobo.
rolling with.
You know, I noticed that you like to go into like some deep, dark Euro techno genre sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I've always like made house music and DJ'd house, and I feel like after the Euro trip, I'm just so fired up on some
3 days at
some Euro
Munich
techno,
airport.
Yeah,
You came back with only techno on the
Yeah.
downloaded playlist. You're just like, I don't have
Fuck
anything
it.
else. You're just like, it's all boots and cats and boots and cats. And you're like, I don't have any. We're driving home. We're driving back to Salt Lake from Mammoth. He's just like, oh, I don't like this song.
Skip,
Oh, I don't
skip.
like this one. Skip. Gets like 10 skips. He's like, all I got is boots and cats and boots and cats.
I was just so hungover, ready for like chill music, and it's just all fucking techno. Yeah. But yeah, that is what I tend to play most.
I'm down with the Euro vibe.
Yeah.
How was did Annika play?
Yeah, that was,
How was her
fucking
set?
insane.
She's nice with it. Right?
She played, Ethan played, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I was just fucking fist pumping for fucking 6 hours through the whole night. Just fucking so fucking hyped.
We got a bit of a debacle we could talk about. Maybe Phil the dog versus Phil the person.
Dude, yeah, I come in and Chris is like, oh yeah, you can sleep on the couch, and me and Vizz Rochambeaued for the couch first night, and I'm like, okay, I lost rock paper scissors, I'll take the couch, and I go and I roll out my blanket, and Phil the dog comes up, and he's just like right there, and he just walks over and like takes the little bed and just kind of makes his little like circle and then just plops down on it like instantly asleep, dead sausage, and I'm like trying to move him, and he's not moving. He's just a log there. And so I had to sleep on the smaller side of the couch with no blanket. And he's sitting there on the blanket. Didn't move all night.
Did it feel good?
No, it felt terrible. My back's killing me right now.
I feel like you have the capability to move Phil the
No,
dog.
Phil was establishing alpha male dominance, right? That's what we call a good dog, right?
Dude,
there.
there's something about like young things that have a deep connection to me, that established alpha male dominance early on in our relationship, Not gonna name names, but
Phil versus Phil.
Phil.
Okay, so who's got the top slot, Phil the dog or Phil the person?
I mean, I don't get the chant, that's for sure.
Yeah. Next pro model boot for 32.
Phil the dog.
Phil the dog. The dog, off, like when they go in the snow boots. Should talk to 32, see if they can make some of those.
Yeah.
I like it.
Those things have a good ROI, I hear.
Yeah, you basically put them on and you lose 2 of them immediately, and then you never find them, and that's pretty much dog boots in a nutshell.
But you get the clip of the dog tripping out.
I would love to see Phil the dog trying to run in those, try to play fetching them. It'd be so funny.
All right, it's the holidays, and as you know, you may be hanging with your family and want to run directly through a wall. Well, good news. We have Run Through a Wall smelling salts available. Great gift for the holidays. We also got a Run Through a Wall smelling salts autumn collab beanie. That's what I'm wearing right now. And then we got the autumn all over print in front of me here. We got some big, nice burgundy coffee mugs. A great way to support the show is just by copping some merch. So check out bombhole.com. We also upload videos on there, not just our own, but a lot of the latest and greatest snowboard videos. So be sure to bookmark bombhole.com and get yourself some gifts for the holiday season. Okay, got to interrupt the show for a second because I totally spaced that we are doing a Bombhole 32 giveaway. We got some Bombhole lashed boots, Bombhole 32 collab. We are going to be doing a giveaway this episode, so leave a comment on the YouTube of why you deserved these boots, and we will pick a winner, and then we will send that winner a pair of these boots. So we'll get back to the show, but just wanted to do a reminder. We're doing a giveaway. Leave a comment, and we'll pick a winner. All right, back to the show. Thanks, guys. All right, another reminder, we got a call with Scott Stevens coming up in a little bit, but before we kind of derailed from the conversation about clips that somebody asked earlier. I think a good one to talk about would be Pat's Ender clip, the back 50 on the crazy kinked elbow rail. You guys got any insight on that clip?
Yeah, it's a rail in Minnesota that a lot of people have tried over throughout the years, and no one had ever done it. I don't know how many people have tried it, but probably like 10 to 15. It's really steep, and it has an elbow in one of the kinks. So, and the last flat is like bent and all weird too. So it's like you have to make it clean off the end, or it's not going to look good. Like you could hit the down, but it's like the last flat is what matters.
And it's like a board length donkey dick.
Yeah,
and then straight into a tree too. So you have to land and then turn around a tree.
But yeah, I've heard like people tried taping the rail, doing all sorts of stuff, and like then you just kind of went there and
to slow you down, that people would put tape on it. But yeah, my first time at that spot was a few years ago. Right off the plane, me and little homie T-Nizzle, who is not so little anymore. He's a G. We got off the plane. I think Tanya Magoon picked us up, and we went to link with Blake Lamb and Lucas, and they were all kind of in that zone. And we pulled right up to that spot, and I was like, I don't think I'd ever try to hit this rail. And then Vizz got a clip at the bus station, which was heavy.
We went and got breakfast after that.
The
ledge? That like 9 in the morning or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we went and got some food, and I believe I'd already gotten a beer with my food. I was like, I'm content with the footy we got, and Phil and Vizz were like, we're taking you to that rail.
Well, because we had already gotten our last clips of the trip, and you wanted to get one, but then it was like, my buddy Alex was always telling me the whole time, like, yo, you should take Pat to this thing. Like, I think he could be the one to do it.
And I had actually forgotten that rail was even in Minnesota. I'm a backseat rider,
I actually never knows where he's at.
I couldn't even tell you where that rail's at still. But I was like, fuck, I guess I'll try to jump on it a few times. And fuck, it worked out. I got it.
How many T's?
I don't know. How many do you guys think?
15.
No, it was like 2 hours at it for sure, because we got there probably like...
We're getting mixed reviews.
Reviews. Dude,
I remember it was
you were drinking. You're not a reliable source here. You were drinking, and I'm always drinking, but you were drinking, and that means you weren't reliable there.
This doesn't mean that much. But yeah, holy fuck, was I stoked. And I think a lot of clips I go, like, I really want this so bad. And I think the most magical ones happen when you're not even stressing about it, or even looking forward to hitting the spot. Like, I didn't realize until halfway through the day that I was like, okay, I guess we're going on this rail. I'll try it. If not, I'm content. And I think that's when the magic happens,
And obviously, like, the clip, you did it, and people knew that you did it, and then Pete Crosdale put out on the Instagram that he had done it.
Yeah.
Was there any beef or anything like that?
No. I was hyped to see it. Like, fucking respect. That's a gnarly rail. It was fucking scary. Like, all I could think about was slipping out or something before the donkey and just, like, flying to my ass on the donkey or something. Yeah. So I was hyped. Same year. I think if it's the same year,
was
same
it frontside
for
him or?
No, he's regular as well.
Both backside, yeah.
But
I just think it's crazy that 2 people did that rail in a year after people have been trying it for the last 5 years at least.
And it's been there forever. So.
Yeah. But I say respect to.
And I had heard that he had been trying it too, but he didn't get it after a couple of times going there, and maybe wasn't going to go back. So I was like, okay, like Pat's going to be like, he's going to do it. And like, I don't know how like things played out, if he caught wind and went back and did it also or whatever, if it was like didn't know or if we didn't know or anything, but it's just like, it's insane to see 2 people do like a gnarly ass rail like that.
It's like the 4-minute mile. Nobody thinks it's possible, then one person does it.
Yeah. And it's like both perfect too. Like he made it look so chill, and that thing is not chill at all.
Yeah.
Like,
so I have utmost respect for Pete.
Dude, I want to change gears, kind of a bit of a curveball here, but I noticed that when we flew out to Big Bear last year for the park shoot, that's, everybody has clips in the movie from the spring park shoot. Shout out to the Bear Park staff. They killed it on that. And I'm sitting on the plane next to you, and you were listening to a meditation the entire time, and then you show up and you proceed to back to the gnarliest park back to ever done. And then, I know that you meditate and then before a contest, and you just won Rocker Rail and DIYX. I would love to hear about how you get your mind right for going on these trips.
Yeah, I mean, we were flying Delta, they have like some kind of fucking meditation thing on their screen. I was like, I'll check it out. It was pretty mids, but still, it was dope. I think it's always helps me, at least. It's not for everybody, but it helps me to just like basically calm my mind and breathe and just try to put things out there that I would like to happen, So I like to meditate and do yoga.
What about before DIYX? I think it's an interesting story. You told me about this.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I had to piss really bad, beers were flowing like water out there. But I was just like, went on a walk like next to the rail setup, and it's so beautiful, and you got views all around of the Alps, and it's like, I've never been anywhere like that. And I was just like walking down this road in the woods, and like, I just love to quiet the mind and try to connect with nature, just like appreciate the trees, the snow, the mountains. And yeah, I just took a piss and went on a walk, and I was just like, basically like trying to put it out there that I can gain some energy and lose my hangover to help out the riding, because I was pretty hungover at that point. And I don't know, I just like to quiet the mind and go on a nice walk. I think it works out well for me.
Sounds like me and Chris 2013 in the Alps.
Oh my God.
You should tell about it.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It's a bit, there is some contrast.
Yeah, polar opposite. So if anybody's ever heard, I refer to Tony as TK1 a lot, right? Mm-hmm. If you're ever familiar how Tony got his nickname, I had an iPad at the time, and I had Big Buck Safari. It's a Big Buck Hunter, the arcade game, but you can get it for your iPad. And so his name in there, you have 3 digits you can put in there. It was TK1. So we went to Spain, Italy, Switzerland.
Austria,
we did Austria,
Switzerland.
an entire Euro tour, and you're driving through Spanish countrysides with like horses and castles. We didn't see a single thing. All we were doing was trying to drop bucks and trying to beat each other in Big Buck Safari in the back of the van.
That's fucking legendary.
You shot a cow.
Yeah, and then Tony he's not, I wouldn't say he's gifted at Big Buck Safari. So he shot a lot of cows, and you'd hear like swearing in Finnish back there.
Vittu.
Yeah, that means, I believe, fuck in Finnish.
Yeah.
So
Vittu?
I'm sure you heard him say that a couple spots, Pat.
I don't know. TK gets shit pretty fast.
He kept it English. He kept it English.
Yeah, true.
For sure.
It changes sometimes.
Should we fire up Assault real quick?
Yeah, let's hit Assault. All right, round 2. All right.
Do it with the rail.
Oh, baby.
I like this new technique of the smash. I'm going to do a Vizz boot smash.
Oh my
God.
This one's even worse than the one earlier, dude.
insane.
Wow. TK.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't even want to hit that again.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
All right, run through wall smelling salts available at bombhole.com. We got the brick. It's a 3-pack.
I think I got it in the coffee again, Pat.
No.
Also, this is a run. Am I wearing the brick beanie? Is it red?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wearing the run through wall brick beanie right now too, inspired by a brick wall. if you're feeling inspired to run through a wall, pick up the Bombhole Autumn Collab beanie.
And for the
Bombhole.com.
listeners not watching, the thing is crispy.
Ooh, yeah. Thank you, Pat. All right, we have Scott Stevens on the line. Just spent a few days with him in Mammoth. Let's see if he's there. Stevens, you there, brother?
Yep, I'm here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, good to hear your voice. How we feeling? What's happening? What's going on? What are you dealing with in your day-to-day right now?
I'm a little under the weather, but I'm excited to hear what the boys are up to. Yeah, we had a great time. That was a vacation at Mammoth, I will say.
Yeah, we got the BONECRUSHER boys plus Silk D here. So that's
who's big fan of the Silk D, man. I've been watching them a lot, dude.
That's awesome.
The dog haircut thing last episode really had me in stitches. It was so funny.
Found his spirit animal. So I think, first things first, we got to get into some hard-hitting topics here. I was hearing a loud bang from my room. I kept thinking that the doors were slamming in the hotel. I didn't know what was going on. And it turns out that you were filming clips on the carpet. Maybe you want to elaborate on that, on your skateboard?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to say. Yeah, it was pretty windy out that day. We had 2 days in, and I was like, I don't know. I brought my skateboard, and I think Zeb was the only other person that brought their skateboard. And on those trips, it's just like, it's quite like, it's snowboard focused. So like skateboarding is like, it's like, why did I even bring my skateboard? So I was like, fuck, I'm going to make sure this thing gets used. And then, it was like, 9 o'clock in the morning or something?
Yeah, it was early.
And just got myself a little cardio. And what? Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't like a 10-minute, I'm going to do a kickflip session. This was a full-blown.
No, it was like 45 minutes. Yeah, it was
probably closer to an hour, but yeah, he was counting.
Were you in a meeting, Chris?
I was on a Zoom call. I thought somebody was slamming the doors. I couldn't figure out what the sound was every time he landed primo or whatever.
Yeah, I remember Scott. Dude, he came out to the hill and he was just like, I just had like a crazy skate session. And I see a clip of him and he like practically rolls his ankle and then he's talking about how much pain he's in. I'm like, you're always in pain, but like I get that because I'm always in pain too. But he's like, skating before snowboarding is a no-go.
Yeah, I agree with Phil. It's just like, you got to put your priorities, in place. And I didn't do that too well because I was struggling on the snowboard. But no, I did. Yeah. It was funny. You definitely came and you were concerned like they were doing construction a little too close to the hotel room. So I thought the whole scenario was kind of funny. And I actually, like, when I was skating, I realized you were going to catch on eventually, and I just was like, oh, man, we're back at it,
Can we talk about how Chris wanted to open the door, but maybe there's a tripod in the way?
Yeah, my tripod was blocking the door, and, you have, like, a certain window of, like, momentum when it comes to filming these tricks where you're like, I mean, you guys all know it, like, there's, like, these little windows of flow where you're just like totally focused, and then I was like, Chris ain't throwing off my focus here. I got to get this, and then we'll chat.
And we're describing skateboarding on a carpet in a hotel room, to be clear, right? Just to
that's the thing, you never know. Like if you're really trying to pursue your best you gotta like use any opportunity you can to see that through.
I like the buffer with the bed so that like when you would land primo, you would just fall back onto the bed.
It's like an airbag.
Yeah, it was an airbag. Training wheels.
No, that's a good observation because I did have it the other way, and I was like, I'm gonna $1 million baby myself on this corner of this this wooden bureau or whatever. So yeah, I flipped it around. So, but
it's amazing when we run into somebody like I went to high school with or something. They're like, "What have you been up to?" And you're like, you scratch your head. We're like, I mean, shit, man. The same thing I've been doing since I was 13. Not a whole lot's changed. You're a great example of that, Scott. I love it.
Well, we're like so lucky to be able to like kind of like pick our hours and like pick when you want to shoot off or what you want to shoot off on. So like, I think if you can just, if you can dream it and do it, and if you're lucky enough to be able to come up with your own recipe, then you're lucky. So I'm very lucky to be able to be like, hey, this might get a rise out of people.
I just shot off into the toilet on our little break.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that verbiage when I said shut off. The verbiage was like, I was like, as soon as that came out of my mouth, I was like, they're gonna love that, or they're gonna eat it up, or.
Scott, I think I could listen to you say something and then correct yourself for hours on end. I don't know why, but it is just the funniest thing to me. And it's like, anytime I get on a trip with you, it's just like nonstop, just like back and forth. Like same with you, Jesse, Chris. It's always just like the consistent talking back and forth of just like mumbling with no goal or whatever. It's just top tier banter. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I think it's like a Gollum and Smeagol situation where, you know, you have these two like beings living inside of yourself, and you probably getting to witness that. Yeah. A little bit of like, you know,
it's a classic Gollum and Smeagol. If you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. You know what I mean?
What was there?
I don't even know that reference, but I love it.
The Lord of the Rings.
What was the terminology we were talking about last night? Gobbled or whatever?
Lobbled. We were thinking about, you know how JP and Jeremy, when somebody gets broke off, use the term lobbled?
Oh, lobbled. Yeah, I love that.
We've been thinking about putting that one back into rotation.
Yeah, lobbled was really, really quite something.
All right. Well, speaking of lobbled, somebody kind of lobbled the entire internet while we were on this trip. And you kind of were the first person to throw some glass on the crab walk. Love to hear your take on the Joey Fava crab walk taking the internet by storm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I just want to first say that, like, Joey is probably, like, one of the truest, like, forms of what I think snowboarding is about, you know, which encompasses a lot. But like when you go snowboarding with him, and he's already like, he's pretty energetic, but then you put the camera on him, and then you really are like subject to whatever like could play out down that run, and it's fantastic. And that's, I think me and him were just feeling excited being there first day, and like I can feel his energy. He could probably hear me yelling and chirping at him, like, you know, and he just really freestyles, man. He's like a true, like, he just in the moment, he lives in the moment, and that trick just came out of his, you know, of his pores. And yeah, we chopped it up in the little, you know, on probably that chairlift. I edited it, and then, you know, somebody else saw it. They're like, you got to do that again. And then, man, he ran with it for the whole week, dude. You know, most people like might get stale or stagnant, but Joey, each time he did it, it probably got better and better. And that's like a true entertainer.
Joey Fava, baby.
Dude, he took it so far that he started doing the cab 2 on the rail and then doing the crab walk off of that. We were trying to get him to back 5 the jump into the crab walk.
The higher speed, the higher the stakes.
Yeah, I mean,
but doing jumps, it gets gnar.
But I still think it's like the more basic it is, just like the original one that he did so good. Like, like that's his. No matter if you did it gnarly or crazy or whatever, like that one's speaking to everyone, no matter your skill level or whatever. That was legendary. You know?
It's relatable.
I agree. Yeah, the S-Rail one was pretty funny too, because that was a few days later, a crab walking, and he still had a little juice left in him. But it's also, you got to remember, like, why Joey is so good at it is because, you know, Joey is like, he's, you know, we all are like built out of a lot of different inspirations and riders that we loved, and you can see a lot of Lucas and a lot of Bradshaw in him, and like the way he's staring back uphill is like a perfect concoction of all three of them, you know. It's like, it's just it's a lot of lineage in snowboarding, you know. It's like a family tree of just staring back up a hill, you know. Like,
fucking
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, we got the BONECRUSHER boys here, and while we got them, I'd love to see if you have any thoughts on BONECRUSHER, because I know you're a video nerd connoisseur.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did a great job, man. I mean, street snowboarding is like, it's been pushed really incredibly far, and those guys, man, they really, the four of them really made a great film. And Jeff, like, I think did some of his best film work I've ever seen, you know.
A lot of rail slides, the helicopter spins and stuff.
Hey, that's what it's about, man. You guys put the team on your back with that movie, man. I mean, it's exceptional, dude.
We love you, Scott. You also added a ton of flavor. The outro is so good. You and Brad.
Outro is maybe the best part.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
I mean, so for me personally, like some notables, like obviously, like I don't understand how everybody's so good at pretzels in this past like decade. Like, but Vizz, when he pretzels out of something, it's like it's phenomenal, man. It's like it really is like such a powerful, like it looks so simple, but like it actually takes so much skill. And I love the tap spin too. That's like, I know that's like some low hanging fruit, but like for me, when he taps that sign, dude, and the cut shot comes in and it's in slow motion and just that really gets me going. And then, you know, you throw the, like, you know, Toni, are you there, Toni? Haven't heard you yet.
Yep.
Oh, he's here.
I'm listening.
I just want to shed some light on Toni. He kind of creeps around, you know, like, and he's very quiet and unassuming. And then, you know, he has like probably, you know, I'm not picking any favorites, but like I just really like the part he put together. It's just like so powerful, and it's just like it really speaks when you see it on the music and the colors and everything. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Tony's probably Tony's got
professional.
mine too.
Style Lord.
So good.
Quick question, Scotty.
Well, yeah, go for it.
Who do you think the smelliest person on the team is?
I already told you guys yesterday, but I mean, you know, Phil's I don't want to talk about that ass too much, but Phil's ass gets a lot of coverage. So I don't know.
Bit of a dump.
I just
I mean, I'm not 180 without a butt.
That thing's power.
It's a bit of a
power, but I just have to imagine like it'd have a powerful scent too. I really think I'm taking it too far.
It's a bit of a wagon.
I say that with love.
It's a bit of a wagon.
That's
Hey,
probably why I
I'm no
walk so
peach,
bad.
man. I am no peach in this department, man. I remember Bodie was doing the juice cleanse back in the day, and I was like, man, I should probably do that. I inside smell like absolute hell, you know? So
One time, actually, Scott was in a car with Ollie Opmaka. Shout out.
made my buddy puke. Sorry.
Maybe explain. Yeah, maybe provide a little bit of context there, Scott.
No, yeah, this was around like maybe stack footy era, like, you know, good 15 years ago when I used to drink a bit more and party with my friends, and you know what you're capable of after a night like that. And we were at a red light in West Springfield, Mass. And Ollie, I just farted, and Ollie like puked out the car.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna divert that question back onto myself because I technically was in the video. So
I'm gonna make sure I try
Phil,
to
you're
get
in
you
the
with one
clear.
of those.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you with one of those on our next trip. That's for sure.
But yeah, speaking of Phil, though, I really do like. I think it's pretty cool that, like, you know, when you think of Mount Baker and you think of, you know, some famous spots at Mount Baker, and Phil's out there hitting rails with everybody, which is like, you know, he can be the best guy out there, and then he can also, you know, double cork, pack app. You know, that's pretty cool. I want to shed some light on that because that's like a really hard skill to have as a rail rider, you know, and all those guys actually can do stuff like that, but Phil, you do it like to the highest level. So it's like really cool for me to see. So nice work on that.
Love it, Stevens. How are we feeling about the spot check for Mammoth? How do you think the crew stacked up this week?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. They're always good. You know, Zeb gets in there for the power hour and we all get excited. You know, it's really fun for like dudes like me and you to be like, I'm not feeling it that good. Let's just swarm behind Zeb for a couple hours, you know? Yeah, I mean, the squad as a whole, like, really, you know, hits the box, checks the boxes when it comes to different forms of terrain, you know, and there wasn't like the greatest, but the park crew did a great job for us, and I think we had a good spot check.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's fresh right now, I think since as a 32 crew, we all were just riding for a week together. And then we get done riding and we sit with Susanna, the designer, and Bachman, the sales guy, and Will, the boot designer, and Cook, and we all get together, and it's kind of cool to talk about because, you know, every piece of the line we get to have our say in, and we get to give our 2 cents. And I don't know if it's like that at all brands, but I think that's one of the cooler things that we got going on over there.
Oh yeah, I mean this trip especially. I had Jeff, I had Toni, I had Joey, and somebody else sitting behind me while I was talking to Susanna, and they were all helping me with my outerwear, and really kind of refining it. And it was a cool team feeling. Yeah, it was definitely like a group effort because outerwear can be tough. You put a logo in just one wrong place and somebody's not going to buy it. So these guys were like, I mean, Jeff is so meticulous. He was even down to the eyelets on like the belt loops. He was like, I want that to be brown or white. And I was like, holy crap. Like it was a cool moment. Yeah. And then aside from, I think my favorite trick I saw, I'm kind of switching gears here, but like when Joey did the bag 5 to the S rail like 5 times in a row, I thought that was really cool.
Yep. So powerhouse.
What else you got, Scott?
Well, I basically named 3 of the guys in the movie, but Pat had the curtains, and I just want to talk about some things that I saw that were just incredible. And one being the back 270, where he set the little branch to show his line off the takeoff because he couldn't see what was below him. And I've seen a lot of back 270s and gaps, and I've seen JP do some absolutely legendary ones, Jeremy Jones, the list goes on. But the one Pat did at Bear at 9 o'clock in the morning with the firm landing was like seriously one of the sickest ones I've ever seen in a video. And I don't care if streets, hill, whatever. It's like, that was so gnarly, Pat. That was like, that'll live in my brain like forever as like one of the sickest things I've seen in person on a snowboard.
Thank you,
and you were so focused, dude. It was so crazy, dude. You were I was like hiding behind the lift pole, and I had like 100% like I just knew you had it, dude. There was nothing like pulling you off that. You were gonna get that like within 5 tries. It was incredible, dude.
Did you do any warm up tricks?
I think like
lip
one
slide?
Front lip.
Yeah,
but I don't think I landed it. Yeah, like slipped.
Yeah.
Fuck it, just try the back.
Yeah,
but then again, like, why not go straight to that if you know that you're
that's
gonna
the
do that?
craziest clip in the video
Because it's
sure.
And it was such a heavy rail, even for the front lip,
Yeah.
Well, because we were all talking like, let's session this thing and then get up there and look at it, and it's just like, nope, no way, like,
Shout out to Bear. And
the landing was pretty. Yeah, shout out for sure.
It was kind of crazy because I was like, it'd be maybe sick to put a down rail there, and Cook's like, all right, boys, let's get the fucking down rail. And I was like, God damn it, I have to do it. Yeah. Here we go. But yeah, shout out Bear and Cook and everyone getting that.
What? This is an interesting topic, Stevens. While we got the you on the line here. Okay, back in the day, we grew up, tech diff, older videos. It was like you had park, you had half pipe, you had backcountry, you had street rails, you had a all-encompassing video parts, and it's gone away to like the unspoken snowboard Bible of tricks is like street or backcountry. There is nothing else that is acceptable. I found park shots in the video to be quite refreshing, and if you go to a premiere, the crowd goes crazy over the park shots. I would love to hear your take on park shots in the video.
Yeah, I mean when Vizz was back 7ing up the step up, and then smacks the lip and comes down, it's like, dude, yeah, that's just like it's just such a powerful clip, Yeah, you can never, like, I just remember, all those movies we grew up on, Arrow and Scotty Arnold and Ika Backstrom and stuff, having shots like in the park, and obviously like the Forum guys and M3 and those shots are amazing. Chad Otterstrom's back 90 over like, half pipes and gaps in the half pipe and stuff, and it's like, dude, those shots speak so well, and they really like. I think Thrift Boards posted a clip of the Bondage where Danny Cass and Scotty Lego were sessioning some jump at maybe Aspen, and he made a similar remark where he was like, he's like, I like it all, dude. He's like, slam it in there. And Bertner's the same way. Like, it really is. It makes for a really great watch, and almost like a pretty timeless watch, because it's like, give everybody your best side, which is every aspect of snowboarding.
Great take.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah.
Great take. One other thing before we let you go, we should talk about, you did the tail block and then yoinked method. I don't know if this will be out by the time this podcast comes out, but that was beautiful, Scott.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I was trying the aeronaut out for the first day, and I really liked being on that board. It kind of it reminded me of being on a board that I would have ridden in maybe like 1999, like a Burton Balance or something. But yeah, that was a cool moment, just because like it just, the aeronaut made the tail block stand up real straight, and the board didn't like it didn't give too much like some of my other boards do. So that was cool. Thanks, dudes.
So the stiff board's good for tail blocks. Pro tip is what you're saying.
I mean, it's just from a stiff camber board does look better for tail blocks in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, you can do a tail block on anything, but when the board gives too much, it's just like, I mean, Jake Kuzik talked about it on his bomb hole, where he liked seeing, the camber profile when you grab and stuff. And I do agree with them a lot. I do think when you'd watch Mike Ranquit and Chris Roach butter, and they were on some just real stiff hogs, it did look cooler for sure, because the person's giving it their all, So
damn, we get some good snowboard nuggets of information.
Yep.
Well, Stevens, thanks for calling. We're going to get back to talking to the Bone Crusher boys here. But
we love you,
chat.
Scotty.
I can't wait.
We love you.
Yeah, you too, dudes. You guys are the best.
Can't wait to ride with you.
Feel better.
Hey, awesome, boys.
All right. Good chat, Steve-O. Talk to you soon.
All right, later, guys.
Later. I thought that was that was a great chat.
Yep.
I also thought I would like to hear your guys' takes on park stuff and snowboard videos.
I mean, I feel like we all grew up watching those videos that had Snow Summit clips in it, so it was like almost going back to that when we were riding at Bear, and like that was kind of our whole idea behind that, talking with Jeff and Bear. Like, fuck it, let's throw park clips just like they used to do back in the day, Nothing wrong with that. I think it's epic.
Yeah, I think it's cool. You can relate, or viewer can relate to that, because you see that that's filmed at that park. I can go there. Okay, maybe there's not that feature, but still, you can see those places, and I think it's cool. I think, yeah, maybe the Instagram, you see a lot of snowboarding from parks on Instagram, so maybe that's the reason why people hasn't been using park stuff that much, but I think it's fresh.
Yeah,
cool.
and like you said, Chris, everyone at the premieres were going wild on the park stuff, and it's like almost because it's more relatable than dropping in a 10-foot ramp,
go straight,
go 10 feet into a fucking kink rail in the streets. So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. Absolutely, because people can relate to it, and that's the thing, is like they can try it and go do it. And here's the thing, is like if it makes like a trick, I think that a trick is designed to make somebody feel something. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. If you watch something and you're like, oh, like Scott, he did a tail block on a snowbank. Nobody would ever look at it as a spot, but he pops his tail in, he yoinks method. It's nothing. The spot is nothing, but the trick made me feel something. And so if I feel like a lot of the trend of snowboarding has gone into driving around looking for the world's best spots, and sometimes it's more about the spot than the trick. And I think Scott and I grew up in the school of like, let's think of a trick, let's try to innovate a trick, and then the spot will find itself. But yeah, whether it's a park or whether it's a backcountry, it doesn't matter,
Well, that's why like when you see like Joey's crab walk or whatever, he's just going down the mountain, and you're like, that's just a run. And I feel like anyone that rides a snowboard is just like, oh my God, you can do this with a run. And like, that's what makes Zeb shit so special, is you watch him go down and run, and you're just like, the things he does don't even make sense, and you would never get that if he was dropping and going and hitting a spot. Like, it's just literally what's in front of you, like spontaneity of it, or however you say that word.
Spontaneity, so whatever.
Spontaneity, whatever. Yeah,
Spontaneity.
But like, it's just like you can't make it up. Like, you can't just sit there and think like, oh, I'm gonna do this. You just are going down and then just hit some crazy shit.
Absolutely.
I think the park features are epic. Like Pat said, we all grew up watching MacDog videos, Tech 9 videos, their session in Bear, Snow Summit. Like, those are almost my favorite clips in the video. You see a big park jump. Like, remember Arrow doing like a back double rodeo on the step up, and I'm like, yo, maybe I can learn that one day when I figure it out, And it's like, I think the people that just ride a snowboard casually on the weekends, every mountain has a park, and it's sick to see that in like a big video.
Absolutely. I think it's great. And just, you guys mentioned Zeb, blowing minds. And that's a fun topic too, because I was filming Zeb with my phone and I would ask him what he's going to do on the run. And he wouldn't be able to tell me. And I think snowboarding in its purest form is if you're making up the trick and you're that in the moment that you decide what you're going to do on the thing as you get to it and you're not even thinking about it, that's like, you're so present, you're so in the moment. That's like kind of snowboarding in its purest form,
You ever seen that Bob Burnquist run? This is skating, but like the Bob Burnquist run from the 2001 X Games where he drops in, like botches a kickflip indie and throws it back under himself. You know the run I'm talking about, right?
I'm not familiar, but
dude,
continue.
It's literally the best vert ramp run of all time, but he like does like a couple of sketchy airs, botches a kickflip indie, and then proceeds to go just like innovate this entire line throughout the entire minute-long run and ends it with like a blunt kickflip. And it's just like everyone in the stadium loses their minds. And it's like that's the spontaneity of it. It's like he like fully fucked up his run and went and did the greatest run of all time.
Yeah, it's all about the spontaneity.
Yeah.
Spontaneity.
We got to work on our vocab.
But then it's like the other extreme of it is like I have to be very meticulous when I'm setting something up and being like, I need this here, this speed here, whatever. Because I go to a resort and I'm like, I grew up riding park. I can't ride park worth shit anymore. Like,
not true.
Not true. Yeah.
Like compared, dude, you know what I mean though. Like,
we used to do back tens and shit back.
You're an animal.
Anymore,
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I struggle like at Mammoth. Like I can't ride that park.
I beg to differ.
You're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is wrong, Phil. But I saw you ripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about park instead of streets too. You can get into that flow. You're just like, oh, I just landed this. Holy shit, my special meter's up. I'm gonna chuck something on this. You get that special meter up.
I think it's sick to just turn down the park too. Like you can hit a rail and actually make a toe side and heel side carve. Like that's sick.
And also in skate videos, like you look at the transition guys, they're skating skate parks. It's not all pools, I think skateboarding puts park stuff in there.
I'm down with the skate park footy.
Yeah.
Sick.
Remember Dustin Dolan back in the day? He'd have the most raw skate park clips, like kickflip nose stalling, some rail on the side.
Dude, the like down.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the park stuff's sick though, because it's like, I feel like everyone, when they would watch the video and they would see like the step up, step down feature, they'd be like, those are my favorite clips because you guys are actually snowboarding, or like how there were some lines in it. Like his first line is just like, wow, they're snowboarding. It's not just like hit this and that and whatever. It's like the stuff in between that makes such a difference, not just the trick.
All right, well, we actually got to let Toni Kerkela go. He's got to fly back to Finland right now.
Fly.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to leave mid podcast here, Tony.
Maybe he could find the
What's
bag
the
at
time?
home.
Is it 1?
It's 12:58.
Okay, maybe
2 more minutes. Or do you just want to get up?
Should we bring the chair in for him with the dude on it?
Yeah.
No, you're irreplaceable.
I hope your board bag is at home.
Let's see.
Yeah.
How long's the flight back to Helsinki?
16 hours
Oh,
in total.
Mellow.
big travel day coming
Big
up.
travel day.
This board bag's making it clean slate.
Let's see. Maybe I get 2 board bags waiting there, or maybe 0.
All right, let's cut so we can say later to Tony, and we'll get back to the show here.
Thank you.
All right, we just had to say goodbye to TK1. Looks like Phil the dog is taking his space. We'll see how long Phil sits in the chair. For the listeners, Phil is in the booth, sitting in a chair. This is the first. Never got him in the chair, I don't think.
I'm glad he didn't take my seat this time.
Yeah, Phil, you can keep your seat unless Phil comes over there and and then he'll have priority.
He might have to alpha mail me again.
Yeah,
That's a big dog you for sure.
absolutely.
He's cuter for sure.
I had a couple other notes for Tony. He did take a shit at the casino on the way home, the Golden Nugget. We didn't get to that. Also, we made $50 at the casino.
Big ups.
Spent 100 though.
Spent 100, left with 50, so we made $50.
You know how much our car made 0. But we made good time. We made $0 though.
We made $0. Okay, let's hear Phil talk. Oh, actually, I got a question from Seth Hewitt. This is really good. Let me pull this one up. Seth Hewitt said, "What was it like to strap on the boots of Nam and go up World War Z?" Maybe you guys could provide some context for that.
Dude, yeah. Seth was the only. So this is the walk up to the spot, and Seth was the only guy with verts on, snowshoes, and he was just zooming in front of us, and we're following JP, and every single one of us is just post holing up the steeps,
setting the track.
Like, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I've been in worse, but it was first of the year. You know, I would have preferred some snowshoes.
How was your guys' spot session?
Legendary,
fucking epic.
Who was up there?
It was the four of us and JP and Seth Hewitt. And, dude, the best quote of the day to JP, he comes up, and we're like kind of sessioning the down bar, and we were like warming up, doing some stuff. He's just like, you know, I'm going to show you guys a little something you forgot to do. It's called warming up. He goes in, and he busts just a backboardy, and he's just like, maybe not quite like that, but the quote at the top of the rail was really funny because we're doing like just tricks, you know, like.
You guys are unloading. Unloading.
Not actually warming up, but it's like hard to warm up at the start of the season doing stuff like that. I feel like you gotta just start getting tricks and like spinning a little, and then like you get to the basics when you get a little more confident on your board and more relaxed, you know?
The sickest rails though. It's nice and skinny.
Slide like butter.
And they've been around for 20 plus years is word on the streets.
Legendary steel. Might have to call up the steel supplier and just thank them for just such a great piece of steel, you know. Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk Instagram questions. We got one from Jake Radmer. Let's hear Phil talk about slanging tats.
Thanks, Jake. I've always been drawing, and I just kind of started getting into it. I mean, not like professionally or nothing. I just do it fucking around because it's fun and keeps me happy and being stoked on drawing. I did one on Pat's little arm right there. That was like one of my first ones. It's a turtle on roller skates.
Yeah, and this is one of his first ones, and I'd like to give a little insight on this one. We were in the Soul Tech office, which is maybe the first hat to go down in there. And
it was, yeah.
Phil is fucking sweating and shaking as he's giving it to me. And I thought that was pretty epic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at it by any means, but it just keeps me stoked on drawing dumb shit because it's like it's like any project you take on, you know. It's cool to like just like think a little less serious. Like I do like graphics and all that stuff too, and it's like good to have something to put your other energy into that's way less serious. Like, where else would you draw a turtle on roller skates or some like weird, funny stuff like that? Like, you're never gonna, and like
my favorite.
Your sister said it's her favorite one, even though, you know, compared to all the other ones,
this is my favorite.
It's just fun, and it's like the first thing I've done in a long time that keeps me like that I've been learning, and I can see definite progress. That I'm like, I'm learning something. I haven't learned something new since like starting to snowboard, and I'm like, that's like 20 years, you know. I'm like, damn, this is awesome, you know. Like,
you gave Cook one too, and Holly.
Yeah,
in the house.
You gave Vizz a funny little one on his
cute little mushroom.
Stevens got one on the trip.
Yeah, he got one on the. Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, you would never draw a dog with a Star Wars outfit on. It was just like, why would you ever do that? I don't know why. Why not?
Yeah,
it's just fun. Like, you just make dumb shit, and people get stoked on it. It's like you just have fun. Like, that's the whole point of doing anything. You don't want to take it too serious. You just have fun with it.
Killing it.
All right, so Vizz, maybe you could field this question, or maybe it's more of like an elaborate on a topic, not a question. But Mondo Point says, narrow stances / stances with no angles on the bindings in the jib scene as a topic. I know you run pretty light on angles. I'd love to hear you kind of elaborate why.
I mean, I used to run a 0-0 stance, 19.5. Absolutely wrecked my knees. Had to rehab that for a whole summer. Couldn't skate at all. So, I mean, if you're trying to do that, I think it's a great idea.
I do think it's all personal preference, though, because I've been running 0, -3 in the back. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to try to angle mine out more, and it felt weird on my knee. So I think it's really all personal preference.
Yeah, it's all about how you feel comfortable. I guess the way I look at it, however you jump and then how you're going to land on just flat ground. Like, if you land straight, maybe run the straight stance. If you land a little ducked, kick them out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting like observation too. You look at people that turn and ride the mountain and like bank slaloms or big mountain, like people that are generally turning, like take maybe like a big mountain Jeremy Jones or something, like they're going to run heavy posi. And if you're just ripping turns down the mountain and your shoulders are open, it's kind of like, I hate to use the like comparison, but like look at ski racers, you know, and they're like their shoulders are way more open when you're just carving. And I think rails, you tend to not have open shoulders all the time. And like freestyle snowboarding, your shoulders are closed more often. You're riding switch more often. So, and I actually think a lot of the, you know, my favorite styles of people, the way they look on a snowboard, the less angle. Take, for example, Chris Bradshaw. Dude, he ain't running much angle, you know. Jed back in the day, you know, a lot of people ran really mellow angles, and it's just personal preference, like we said. But I think for different types of snowboarding, it makes sense to change your angles. Phil?
Yeah, it just comes down to what your legs feel like, you know, because if I put on 0-0, I'm like, I'm not even making down the mountain. You know, I've ridden Zeb's board, and he runs 0-0 on that big board. I'm like in that thing trying to like even start going. I'm just like, ow. Because I run 0-15 for everything, like street, powder, park, anything. But yeah, it just comes down to like what feels right for you, I think. That is not right for me.
You look at how Phil walks. He's got that duck-footed stance, dude.
That's true.
I think I'm not the best person to take advice from on how to take care of your body, maybe. Or like what works well for your knees on a snowboard.
Yeah.
Fun. Somebody wants to know from Jer Gusta, wants to know favorite street city filming last year.
Definitely Helsinki.
Spokane.
Damn.
Minnesota.
Damn. Everybody's different.
I'll actually go Minnesota too, because that was the first time I'd been to Minnesota on a trip, and I went a couple of years ago. And first spot of that trip, I got hurt and was out for like a month. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't even like shovel a spot. Couldn't do anything while I was there. So I was stoked to go back, and then like spent a month in that Airbnb and learned all like the ins and outs of our zone and how to drive places there and like good food spots and everything. Like it was like we set like a home base there for a long period of time, and that was awesome.
Phil was not using maps.
Yeah, I don't really need to do that. Even coming here today.
He's nice with the directions.
Yeah, that's great for people like me in the back seat.
Yeah, you don't even know how to use Google Maps.
Look up out the window. We're at the spot. It's fucking sick.
All right, so I think we're pretty close to doing it here. One more question here from Abby, not Gabby. What are some new tricks / goals, or what do you got going on this upcoming winter?
I'm trying to go back to Finland. I had an epic time out there last year. So my goals are to go link with some people out there and do some filming, as well as it'd be nice to build a couple jumps, ride some powder. And
you got any contests? You gonna do the heavy metal and all that?
Yeah, Sexton just hit me up for heavy metal, so we'll be going to that. That should be fun.
Pat was claiming he's gonna do his first back 10 this season, and I'm gonna coach him through it.
Yes.
Flat, or are you gonna duck it?
I'm trying to duck it, dude.
Back 5, cab 5, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Nope, not back 5, cab 5. Back 7, back seat, and just keep it going. Like how you land a back 7 when you're learning them. You're always going to land back seat, split the cheeks. You just do that and keep going.
So you go back 7, cheek splitter, keep it going.
Some good advice.
What about you, Vizz? New pro on the scene?
I think I'm going to try and get into the side country, go build some booters for sure. I feel like I love hitting handrails, but I grew up like snowboarding the whole mountain, and I'm just trying to push myself in that realm too. Definitely go on a couple street trips and go jump off some roofs, and I'm trying to go back to Finland too. I like just want to move there. It's insane. It's
so sick.
Jibs are amazing. Like people have been going there for 20 years now, and going to all the spots, seeing them in old videos was surreal. So hopefully go back there, and I just want to film another part and have a little bit of everything in there, a little more flavor for sure.
Phil, though?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to hit some more jumps too. I've been hitting street the last couple of years, and I'm not the greatest street rider in terms of like technical things or whatever, you know, like rails and all that shit. But like, I just want to go do what I feel like I know how to do, which is ride powder and jump and do that and like learn a lot more stuff in that sense and like explore some new places snowmobiling and get out with some new people and teach some other people how to snowmobile and like get out. And I don't know, like I moved back to Washington from Salt Lake a couple seasons ago and I just haven't really actually gotten to explore there yet. And I'm like, the reason I moved back there was to want to go do some different shit from everyone else. I'm like, now I just want to go do that. Like that sounds so fun to me.
ATV.
Yeah.
Any clips for the road gap you got in mind? Do you cook anything up?
Not for me.
You don't want to claim anything? Back-tend it 2 years ago, right?
Did that. Been there, done that, I guess.
Cab 12?
Nope, not big enough. Even the back 10 wasn't, the back 10 it was not big enough for, but Sean Lucy told me he would buy me chili cheese fries if I did it. So I kind of had to spite him on that one.
What's bigger, the cat track gap or the road gap when you're hitting them? Which one feels bigger?
Honestly, the cat gap feels bigger, and that's why I wanted to do it off of that one because it felt, or like when you look at it and see footage of people, you're high off the ground, you can put more pop on it. And like everyone always complains about the speed on that one, but by the time we were done hitting it, we were like to the bottom, just like exploding there. So I mean, I
just like
that
your
one.
butt after the chili cheese fries. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you want to talk about a stinky butt, Sean Lucy's got a stinky butt.
Wow.
Damn.
You hear that, Lucy? Shots fired.
Sorry to throw you under the bus there, buddy.
All right, I think that's been a great show, Silk. What do you think, Silk D?
I think it's been a good one.
Yeah, cool. Chop it up, throw some clips in there.
Oh yeah, lots
Should
of
be
clips.
fun. Yeah, everybody that's listening, I want to say thank you guys so much. Be sure to check out BONECRUSHER. These guys all got pro model boots now. I guess, when's yours hit stores, Vizz?
I think it's a quick strike for next year.
Okay, and then are your guys' boots in the stores?
Phil and I have boots out right now, yeah.
Boots on the ground.
He actually has boots with the fur, I believe, as well.
Boots, nah.
Apple bottom jeans scenario. Okay, well, appreciate everybody that listens, supports the show, all of our sponsors, everyone that tunes in, all of our Patreon members. We couldn't do this without you. So,
all right, let's pop it off with
We'll
one
end
more
with-
smelling
we'll end with
salt.
a salt.
One more.
And then we'll take you out.
Holy fuck. You want some of this one, Chris?
Yeah, let me hit it.
Oh, that one went in my eye.
Should we give it to Phil the dog?
Oh, my God.
Don't give it to Phil.
Don't give it to Phil, dog.
Thanks everybody
on the floor.
Thanks everybody for tuning into the Bomb Hole. We got another episode coming at you this Wednesday. Appreciate you. Over and out.
Sleeping on the floor.
Oh, that one went in my eye.
Good show, Silk.